Correct.
Second.
All those in favor? Y'all got that?
One of the amendments.
Yep. All right, could I get a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Motion carries. You had the opportunity to look at the November 1 public hearing and regular minutes. Are there any changes? If not, could I get a motion?
Motion to approval of the minutes.
Second. We have first and second. All those in favor? Motion carries. Let's bring us to our first public comment for items on the agenda. Do we have anyone registered? Items on the agenda? All right, this time, could I get a motion to adjourn the regular meeting and convene a public hearing?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Motion carries. We're now in a public hearing with Mr. Yakabachi.
For the 2023 alcohol license renewals, all the applicants have provided the required information and everyone passes. So staff would recommend approval on this.
All right. Can we get a motion on, no. It's public hearing. I don't want to jump ahead. At this point in time, is there anyone want to speak against? In favor? This time, could we adjourn the public hearing and reconvene the regular meeting?
So moved.
Oh,
Second.
hang on, back up. We need to adjourn the public hearing one and reconvene a new public hearing.
Make a motion to adjourn public hearing number 1 and convene a public hearing number 2.
Second. All right, we have first and second. All those in favor? Motion carries. Anyone presenting this item?
I can do this, Gary. This is from a while back. If you remember, the sheriff presented a policy that he
Right.
wanted to adopt. So this is just deleting the portion of the code of ordinances that references record services out of the code book. And it requires us to have a public hearing for that.
Okay. All right, is there anyone desiring to speak in favor of this? Anyone desiring to speak in opposition? All right, now, could we adjourn public hearing 2 and reconvene the regular meeting?
So moved.
Second. We have first and second. All those in favor? Motion carries. Now, we're in our regular agenda, number 1, Mr. Yakabachi.
Yes, sir. Requesting approval for the 2023 alcohol license renewals. Staff would recommend approval on this.
Could I get a motion on them now? So moved.
Second.
We have first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Is she, Ms. Bishop?
Yes. So this is just calling for official action by the board to delete that portion of the ordinance referencing record services, which would be chapter 26, article 2.
I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the deletion of chapter 26, emergency services, article 2, regular services from the official code of Georgia of Camden County.
Second. We have a first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
The next item is to amend the 2022 regular meeting calendar for the month of December, and we will be moving the December 13th meeting to December 6th. And that is due to a scheduling conflict with strategic planning.
Could I get a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Second. We have first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
And the last item I have is the reappointment of CB Yadiv to the Camden County Joint Development Authority. Mr. Yadiv is eligible for reappointment at this time, and you should all have a letter stating that in your packet.
All right, could I get a motion on this reappointment?
Motion to reappoint as presented.
Second. We have first and second. All those in favor? Motion carries. All right,
Can also do the next items as well. The next item 5 is consideration of a resolution memorializing the patriots that perished while upholding the nation's sacred obligation to provide supplies to our military and the heroes of the 1971 Thiokol plant explosion involved in rescue and recovery. And you do all have a resolution before you tonight for approval.
all right. Could I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries. All right, brings us to, Ms. Gonzalez presenting, or?
Yes, I'm here. So this agenda item for your consideration is amendments 1 and 2 to the service contracts for the county's hotel motel tax collection and distribution of funds collected. The county currently contracts with St. Mary's and Kingsland Convention and Visitor Center, and also the Camden County Chamber of Commerce for promotion of tourism through the county. Those contracts expired on June 30th of 22. So these amendments, the first amendment extends that contract through October 31st at the tax rate of 3%, where 100% of that tax collected is distributed to those cities and the chamber. And the second amendment begins on November 1st, and that distributes 60% of the new hotel motel tax rate of 5% to those same entities. And in essence, they're ending up with the same amount of money. 60% of the 5% is what they're getting right now. So also the board had directed that we request a 6% hotel motel tax rate at the 2023 legislative session. So if that does pass in early 23, then a new contract would be written at that time. And staff is recommending agreement of the amendments as presented.
All right, could I get a motion on this?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the amendment to the intergovernmental services agreement for fire and rescue management support services with the city of Kingston.
Second.
First and a second, all those in favor? Motion carries.
Okay, and the second agenda item is an amendment to the intergovernmental service agreement with the city of Kingsland. And the county and city of Kingsland entered into an intergovernmental agreement for fire and rescue management support services in July for Chief Smith. An amendment to this agreement is requested to further define the compensation. And the amendment clarifies that the city of Kingsland will not have to contribute to leave payout at such time when chief departs from the county, which we hope is a long, long time from now. And this came up when he had left the city of Kingsland and we were contracted with them. And it's just an agreement that we wouldn't have to pay each other any share of the annual leave payout. So I am recommending approval.
But the point is, he's ours now.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Could I get a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, this brings us to number 9. Approval of mutual aid agreement with Nassau County, Florida. Chief, you doing this?
The commissioners, I come tonight to ask for approval for the mutual aid agreement with Nassau County. We have 2 mutual aid, one's Nassau and one's Glenn. I don't know if you want to do them individually or together. They're pretty much the same.
And just do them individually. I think it'll be cleaner.
Okay, with Nassau County, the last mutual aid agreement that the Camden County and Nassau had was in May 3rd of 2005. We both assist each other, assisting one another with mutual aid. If you remember that exit 1, we had the bad accident there. Nassau County was a big help to us as well. And we also responding in Nassau County. So I'm asking for approval for the mutual aid agreement with Nassau County.
Could I get a motion on this, please?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have first and second. All those in favor?
Okay.
Carried.
Which brings me to the next mutual aid agreement with Glenn County. We've been helping Glenn County out a while. We have never had a mutual aid agreement with Glenn County. As you know, the chemical plant fired just last week. We sent 2 tankers and an admin staff over there to assist Glenn County with that incident. And also when they kind of run a little short on squad, so we kind of backfill Station 6 there on Highway 17 to help them out some. So we both help each other out. And the fire chief over there in Glenn County commissioners really do appreciate that assistance. We do help them out. And they do call us on the regular sometimes too as well.
All right, could I get a motion on this mutual aid agreement?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have first and second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
And all right, and the next item is requesting approval for a new set of extrication hydraulic equipment. The new set will be replacing a current set we are using now from 1999, and we're just trying to keep our equipment updated. So we're asking approval for this equipment.
All right, does everybody know where this fund's coming from?
Unincorporated.
Huh?
They're unincorporated.
Okay. All right, could I get a motion, please?
Motion to approve. Second.
We have first and second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
And the final one is one more to you, the tankers. I have that. It was,
You'll have to come back up, Chief.
oh, come back. Oh,
Yeah, it'll be at the
We'll
end.
get, yeah, that's 17.
oh, I figured I was on the roll. Let's keep it going. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You are on one. All right, there he is.
Just want to go ahead on the record of getting up here before Chief gets all the money. So Commissioners, Chairman, good evening, Commissioners. I'm here to request that you consider the approval for the purchase of a Chevrolet Silverado 2500 for EMA. This truck will provide a number of support options. We don't ride together on calls. We've got 720 miles of county roads to cover. With Nicole coming in, it highlighted the need to have the capability to deploy ourselves out to conduct damage assessments, meet with the public, and determine where our priorities and our needs are. This is listed, the vehicle is listed at $41,175. Funding source would be SPLOST. This is listed on the Florida Sheriff's Association competitive pricing from Stingray Chevrolet. There was a comparison quote from Nimnik Chevrolet in the amount of $62,485. That's about a $21,000 difference. So $41,175, definitely a lot cheaper. And we will perform everything from using it as a prime mover for towing trailers and required equipment that we have, but also generally just for providing us the transportation we need.
All right. Somebody want to make a motion on that?
Motion to approve.
We got a first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. All right. Brings us, to the Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant Fed. Nope, there you are.
Good evening, members of the board, Chair. The reason why I'm here is for a request for approval for award body cameras to the Camden County Sheriff's Office to Motorola. After the last meeting we had before the board on 9/20/2022, the decision of the board to put the body cameras out for a RFP bid. After we received all the bids from the other companies, it was decided the most responsive and responsible bid was from Motorola. So it is the recommendation of the Camden County Sheriff's Office to 4 body cameras to be purchased from Motorola.
But these are 60, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it?
That is
Yeah.
correct. Yes, sir. 60 body cameras.
Like 581,000.
That is correct.
All right, could I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries. You got it.
Thanks.
All right. Mr. Coughlin. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is.
Good evening. We're here to ask for your concurrence in the intergovernmental agreement with the tax allocation district for Camden Woods Parkway for Mr. Ron Sawyer with Sawyer Development to advance the cost, the expense of the installation of public infrastructure. He's going to build the roads, the intersections, the signalization, the water resources, all of that, install all of that. And he's asking to be reimbursed through the tax allocation district funds. So by the funds that he creates, by what he builds there. So at no expense to the city of Kingsland or the county.
All right, could I get a motion on this item?
Motion to approve.
Second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to add one thing though, is, we need to come up with probably a formal agreement with the city of Kingsland to use some of that money to enhance Howard Peoples Park and that other park area to the east.
In that area.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Mr. Sawyer and those folks will help with the kids' playground.
Go back to the city with that.
The city said they were going to pay for it, right?
All right, Mr. Zink.
Good evening, Commissioners. Tonight, I bring before you the request to approval to award the Camden County Community Resiliency Center Phase 1 Resiliency Center Operations Building and conduit between the Camden County Community Resiliency Center and the Tower Compound contract. So a little bit of background for this. We have put this bid out twice. The first time we got 0 response. We went back out to the construction companies that we were in the pre-bid and asked why they didn't put any bids in. They said they didn't have enough time to get their subcontractors together, so we put out another bid, gave them a little bit more time, gave them another walkthrough of the building, and we got 2 bids that came back in. One of them was non-conforming, and that was the higher of the 2 bids. The lower of the 2 bids came back in at 3.86 million, which was over our current budget in the CDBG fund for the grant that we got. So we went back to the contractor and asked him to do a phased approach to this contract, to this construction, with phase 1 being the Resiliency Operations Center, the majority of the construction on the side that we want the what is now the warehouse. And then phase 2 would be the current admin side of the building, and looking in there. We've also went back to DCA with the additional funding, asking for the additional funding to fund the entire project. So right now with the phased approach, we would be asking for an approval to move forward with phase 1, which is coming in at 2.771 million. Which is under the current funding that we have with the block grant of 3.176 million. We'll be waiting on DCA. We just they haven't had enough time to consider the additional funding yet. And we're waiting on their response. But in the meantime, we would like to continue with the construction of this project so that we can meet the DCA's timelines of completion by the end of next year. So tonight, we're asking for the approval to move forward with phase 1 of this project.
All right. Have you had any indication as to when they might respond?
We have not. We've been working with our contacts with DCA. They continue to tell us it's under consideration. So that means they're still looking at it. But we do not have a timeline, and we've been advised not to push for a timeline. So we are still waiting. When we have a response from the DCA,
we will come back with a change order to initiate phase two.
Yeah, Chairman, as follow-up to that, so that could be another 2 months, but
Right.
the appropriate course of action that they wanted us to follow, that other counties have not followed, is to take a phased approach and don't de-scope the project. If we reduce the scope, we ran the risk that DCA would say, we're not complying with why we gave you the money in the first place. So to meet all of the objectives, we're taking a phased approach. There are two sides to that building, logically. The warehouse side, as Matt said, that's the key side. That's where most of the construction will occur at. And this lets us get under contract and get moving, recognizing that we still feel confident that we're going to see some supplemental funding from DCA to do phase two. And if we don't, I'll let Matt kind of pick up to talk about what our alternative course of action might be.
And if we don't, we do have ARPA funding that's set aside for the Resiliency Operations Center already to do the IT side of things and for the furnishing. We also have additional funding there that we think we're going to have available to bring it in-house and do the admin side in-house if we do not get additional funding. So we are still within our budgets.
Yeah, I just particularly wanted the explanation of moving forward, which we got. All right. Could I get a motion on this, please?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Move ahead with phase one. Come on up, Ms. Kelson.
Good evening, Commissioners. This agenda item is for your consideration to award the contract to Horse Stamp Church Road Design and Engineering Services to EXP. Horse Stamp Church Road was last paved in the 1960s. The road condition is declining and could require full depth reclamation and would double the cost. The estimate to fix the road is about $2.4 million. We will need the project to be complete by the end of 2023 due to Highway 17 bridge projects. Purchasing issued an RFP and we received 5 bids. EXP is the lowest conforming bid. Staff recommends approval to contract to EXP.
All right. Can we get a motion on this?
Motion to approve.
Second question. This is just for the design and engineering?
Correct.
Okay.
We will go out, we will put another bid out after they do the design and engineering. We'll put another bid out for the actual
Right.
work.
Gotcha. Thank you.
This is for 95 to 17,
Yes.
or is it all the way over to the Dover?
It should be from 95 to 17. That is Horse Stamp Road.
Right.
Yes. It's for Horse Stamp Road.
Okay, I was just identifying what area it was.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's been beat up badly. All right, could you get a motion?
Yeah.
Oh, we got one other question.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, Chief, you back up. Pick your roll up.
You run out of money, you don't have to come back.
Y'all
Right.
have money. Thank you once again, Commissioners. I come to you and asking you to consider the approval for 2 3,000-gallon tankers from Fouts Brothers. Currently, we have 2,000 Freightliner tankers that's past their life of service. And we're asking you to approve these new tankers for us.
All right. Do we get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have first and a second. All those in favor?
Question.
Got a question?
I got a question. The 2 tankers that you're talking about, the 2002, are those the old forestry tankers or like the old, like off-road?
We got these 2 right here, like those, they sort of like think of a vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
We're replacing those 2 trucks. They're called back-on trucks. So
Okay,
we're replacing those 2,
yep,
yes.
got it. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. All those in favor? Motion carries.
And I want to, if I could, I really want to thank you all for the support you give for fire rescue and keeping the equipment updated. The men and women of the fire department really appreciate everything you're doing for us. And also the citizens. Thank you so much.
All right, this takes us to item 18, personnel. Item 18 is the personnel agreement that we're entering into with Mr. Sean M. Boatwright, hereafter to be our county manager. I thought I saw him out there.
He's hiding.
Sucker. Dummy. Should have stayed. But we're glad to have you back. All right, anybody want to make a motion for this?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? I thought I was gonna have to bribe them to get a motion. All right, well, welcome back, Mr. Boatwright. Glad to have you, little buddy. All right, this brings us to, calendar. Yeah, I see.
The only change to the calendar is just a reminder that December 13th is moved to the 6th.
So it's now December 6th.
Yes.
All right. Any county administrator or comment?
Woke up Monday morning to a chemical fire on the north end, and with the help of Mr. White, the EMA, fire rescue, elements of the sheriff's office, we were able to successfully evacuate folks out of the Dover Bluff area. Thanks to the folks at the PSA, with some assistance from Mr. Landon, Mr. Yakubaki, Julie's not here. All those folks were able to get an emergency shelter established, and we had hot food on the stove by 11 o'clock. Fortunately, we had no takers. So they were able to put the food aside for a potential storm, which Mr. White and his team immediately began working on. And we had a functioning transportation hub at the PSA for Wednesday for potential evacuees from the storm. So our EMA, our fire rescue, public works, everybody came together. We were able to manage and weather the storm. Folks downtown St. Mary's and in some outlying areas along St. Mary's River and some of the north end waterways did have some flooding, but we were able to dodge a bullet, and we did not get a declaration from the state. We were out in front of the state staff email on that, but we are going to be going through an evaluation process to determine if we can have a local declaration and get FEMA reimbursement for all of the expenses that we incurred.
Just to add to that, witnessing, it came together, that operation seamlessly. I mean, like a second thought. And that's a testament to Mr. White. Leadership over there, which I think Glenn County appreciates almost as much as we do. But, it was really, like I said, it's just a testament to his whole hat. Don't really notice it. It all comes together. Everybody knows their positions. Everybody knows where to go and what to do. And it's, that's important because fortunately this time didn't need it. They can't all be hurricanes. Thank God. But nonetheless, it's good to know that when there is one, we can stand up in a hurry and effectively. All right. This brings us to additional public comments. Anyone registered?
Yes, sir. Miss Janet Heath.
Hello, I'm Janet Heath, and a resident of unincorporated Camden County, very near Woodbine. I have my Christmas wish. I got my tax bill this week, so I want my Christmas wish. I made my Christmas wish. But Santa did not schedule the promised workshop to deliver a work session that we had anticipated at 5
How
o'clock
is she gonna throw me
today.
under the bus like that? That was real short notice.
Real short
Get you a work
notice,
session.
very short notice, and we hope we can accomplish that before the end of the year.
I lose, I'm gonna try as hard as I did last time, though. You know, threw me under the bus.
Well, we don't want to kick that can down the road, your words. Okay, so thank you for considering getting this work session scheduled again with the trustees of the Woodbine Public Library and the regional library staff to establish a participation agreement with Camden County for the North Camden Library Service Area. The Woodbine Public Library building is owned by the Woodbine Trustee Board, a nonprofit 501c3 public charity. And number two, to reinstate the FY 2023 annual funding of $30,000 paid in FY 2020, 2021, and 2022. One check is cut to Three Rivers Regional Library System for the staffing and operation of both libraries, Woodbine Public Library and Camden County Library, which increases the potential outreach of services in our very large county. The Memorandum of Understanding can clarify the working relationship of Woodbine Public Library, which is a library service outlet, and Camden County Library, which is a branch library, based on hours of operation. Three Rivers is the supervisor of the work at both libraries, of both local advisory trustee boards, both trustee boards which are members of the regional governing library board. Three Rivers is the financial manager of the funds for both Camden libraries. We have asked for a work session with the county since 2016 to correctly establish and fund this library. And tonight was to be the first opportunity we have been given to work out the details agreeable and working for the Woodbine Public Library, which has been in operation now since 2020. We need to work out the details so there will be no further confusion for the county, for Three Rivers, and for the Georgia Public Library Services. Some confusion is still voiced that the Woodbine Public Library asked for funding for just 1 year. The effort since 2016 of Camden County citizens to bring $280,000 state dollars back to North Camden to establish this library clearly speaks to the fact that we understood continual annual funding from Camden County would be necessary. We are obligated now to keep the library open at least 5 years or to repay the state expenditure or renovation of the building. We have been careful managers of the funds we have received as a fledgling 2-year-old library. More than 30,000 of private contributions through our 501c3 nonprofit. While they're not repeatable, they are part of the public fund balance that we show. It was raised by our nonprofit corporation of the library trustees. We were to the point of increasing our library hours and staffing when Camden County cut our FY 2023 funding. We can become a branch when our hours are above 30 hours. The Woodbine Public Library patron usage continues to grow daily. The traffic increases are there. We have 20 people, 45 people, 100 people came recently to special projects and programs at the library. Halloween saw 250 goblins come by. They each chose a book, a free book, to take home with them. These were books that had been donated to us. They were used books, but they could not be cataloged. All parents and children thanked us for the opening of the library and for the books. Impressive are the dozen teenagers, mostly boys, who come to the library each Saturday for computers, books, games, and community. North Camden now offers such a gathering place at the library, which did not exist before. We have just completed a $5,000 Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Foundation grant on defined projects. And this grant also generated another $10,000 of in-kind donations from businesses and people in Camden County for dedicated services, showing that the library in North Camden does stimulate economic development. As you know, the state requires libraries to be funded by local tax dollars. Please reinstate our $30,000 funding with a working participation agreement for continual annual funding from Camden County for the North End Camden Library Service Area. And please agree, if this cannot be completed by December 2022, then we expect our request for a participation agreement and reinstatement of our funding to go forward with the new Board of County Commissioners in January 2023. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Missy.
Mary Beckman. I live in the unincorporated part of the southern half of the county. I would strongly urge you to spend my unincorporated tax dollars to support the Woodbine Library.
Good evening. My name is Janie Everett, and I live in Woodbine, Georgia. I'd like to thank the commissioners for approving the resolution to memorialize the Thiokol plant workers that lost their lives so that they can become distinguished Georgians, and also to have February the 3rd declared Patriots and Heroes of Thiokol Day on the Georgia calendar. Thank you very much. Also, we had been speaking for a couple of years now about our museum and operations being included in the Camden County budget. Our mission is to remember, honor, and educate. And for 9 years, we have been funding this operations with no help from government entities. And we would ask that you all would consider us in the budget somehow, because otherwise we'll have to close the museum, because we cannot continue funding off of grants. We just completed a grant, which was a ARP grant, good for 1 year. It was $12,252. It was enough to pay the rent for 1 year, the utilities, and the insurance, and our CPA person. All of our staffing is volunteer. So we get about $35,000 worth of in-kind volunteer work. But our people have been working for 9 years with no salaries. And so we ask that the county would consider us. Once again, we're asking to consider us in the budget somehow to pay for the rent, because the county said they didn't have a building. We're established now in Kingsland. So we need your help with this project. We need to be able to have a professional staff of people run the place. We need to be able to pay the rent and utilities and upkeep. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Anyone else? All right, brings us to
Sean.
Sean.
I would just be remiss if I didn't take this time to thank each of you, and I really look forward to being able to come back and work with you, as well as Mr. Myers and all of our staff, and as well as our 2 new commissioner-elects. I know Chairman and Commissioner Clark, it's been wonderful working with you for the last 5 years. I hate to see you go, but looking forward to getting to work with you for at least another month, month and a half. So anything we can do, I think we're going to do some really great things here in the county. Got a lot of really great projects ahead of us and just really looking forward to working with you all, the staff and the community again. Just thank you.
Sean, glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Aggravated me you left. But I'll forgive you. Cause you're back. Huh? Make it.
Make a motion to adjourn. You ready to get out? Second, fellas.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor? We're adjourned. Thank y'all.